Morning all, I'm Johnny B and welcome to Sunny Coast Celtic, episode 49. And today I've got a guest, young Ryan. I grew up with his dad in Clydebank, but we've been out here for years. Ryan's a big Celtic supporter as well, so I thought we'll get on and have a chat about a few things that have been going on at Celtic Park and the Roma game coming up. So welcome to the channel, Ryan. How you going, mate?
Going very well, thanks for having us on, John.
No worries at all.
Been long time listener, first time caller, is that what you say?
That's it, I like that, mate, that's good. But so what have you been up to, mate, over the last few months? What are you doing with yourself?
I've actually got this new business idea, but I can tell you about that when it actually comes to fruition. I'm going to be selling football shirts soon, so maybe come back on here and talk about that in a wee bit. Definitely.
So once you're off and running, mate, and it's all going well, we'll get you back on and we'll have a good chat about that, and we can put a blog up for your business once it kicks off. Right. And I've got no doubt it will kick off because Ryan's good at what he does, so that'll be fantastic, and it sounds like it's going well. Just before we kick off with about the games and things like that, just like to send condolences to Dixie Dean's family. He was a great Celtic player. Ryan's too young to remember Dixie Dean's, but I remember going to see him when my dad took me to the games, and he was a fantastic player. He scored goals for fun. I used to remember he scored 4 against Hibs one day at Hampden. He'd done a kind of somersault, but he wasn't that fit and athletic that the somersault looked terrible, but it was good just when he scored the goal. It was fantastic. But anyway, condolences to the family, and Dixie, we're all thinking about your family, mate, and you were brilliant. We loved watching you. What do you think, Ryan?
I've only learned something about Dixie Dean's recently, and it was Bob Marley's favourite football player was Dixie Dean's.
Was it?
He was mad for Celtic.
Jesus.
And his favourite football player was Dixie Dean's, and he asked to meet him, and the two of them met.
Wow.
So it wasn't the other way about. Bob Marley asked to meet Dixie
Jesus
Dean's.
Christ.
So whatever he was doing, it made it all the way to Jamaica.
Wow.
As well.
So Bob Marley's probably wearing a Celtic tap somewhere.
Definitely.
That's
definitely
good. That's brilliant. Yeah. Well, anyway, we'll move on to the next one, but well done. But, thanks for everything, Dixie. Now, just on Scotland qualifying for the World Cup, Ryan, what's your thoughts on that, mate, and how did you see that going through the qualifying stages?
It was magic. It's been a long time coming. Since we've been, I was 10 the last time I think Scotland qualified, and I went to every single home game. Christ. And I think Hampden was just about knackered at that point. They were redoing it, so I travelled, got to see different places in Scotland to go and see Scotland play. I think Pittodrie at Celtic Park and everything. And it was unreal. And just to think back, qualified after all those years was absolutely magic, man. And the way in which they done it. We've been so close so often. I mean, we were here watching Scotland against Italy, Scotland against France. We always get these hard draws after almost getting there. So it's good to see it finally happen. And in the way it happened, unreal. That
was exciting, wasn't it? Even the goals at the end, like McTominay's goal was just outstanding, wasn't it?
Aye, amazing. Earthquake or something like that happened, was it? Said it was like they monitored a small earthquake after that final goal went in.
Wow.
So it's been magic. Good to be back. There's not many times we're sitting there here where it's 30 degrees at 9 o'clock in the morning that you miss being back in Glasgow, where I was definitely one of them.
I'm the same as you, mate. When I watched the game and that, I was thinking, I wish I was at the game, because I've never seen so many people going bananas in pubs and everywhere, even the ground. The commentators were on top, they couldn't talk for hugging each other and all that. It was absolutely brilliant. But it'll be, don't know how they'll go, and the draw's not too bad. I mean, I know Brazil, but that's the teams you want to play when you go to a World Cup, isn't it?
I think so. I think it worries me is the same thing that probably plagues the Scottish League, is there's no decent striker up there, or kind of shaky on the goalkeeping front and on, or gets safe hands, but 42 years old or whatever age Gordon is. It's two worrying things. But other than that, I think it's just good to be there after 20 odd years and not being able to play at the biggest tournament. And that'll be good.
Well, I was talking about on my podcast before that, asking the missus would it be alright if we went earlier, and we're happy to go, but we're never going to get tickets. And if you did get a ticket, it's like $2 or $3 grand for a ticket. I think you'd be better off just staying here watching the games. They'll be on at a decent time in Australia, whereas Scotland, I think they're on at kind of 5 in the morning, 2 in the morning. I think out here we've kind of knocked it off with it. I'm not really sure exactly what times they are, but I think they're pretty good times over here for us to watch the games,
didn't see that happening, but it must have been filling old Infantino's pockets enough to get the decent times. I think we had didn't win the lottery there.
No, that's
should have given old Trump a peace prize, and we might have got better times.
Aye, that's it. But anyway, look, we're looking forward to it. The World Cup should be good. It's always in the summer. You never really look forward to it unless your team's in it, and because Scotland's in it this year, we've got an interest in it. And the other thing for me, Ryan, is we've been in Australia for 20 years plus now. So Australia's in the World Cup and all, which gives us another team to support in the World Cup, you know?
Aye.
Do you agree with that?
Definitely. Last few World Cups I've had to support Australia or Ireland or whoever. So
Aye.
I mean, it'll be good to see Ireland go through as well. I think they get a tough time in if they actually make it there.
Yeah.
But it's good to support Scotland.
But I think Ireland's got to now play, if they get through the first game, they'll end up meeting Denmark.
Aye.
Which is who we beat, but that's not going to be an easy game.
The trend is their friend. They get good form at the moment. Ireland,
they are. They are.
Hopefully you keep that up and see them there and all.
And big Scalesy and Johnny Kenny might get a game. You'll see them going to the World Cup. So there's a few Celtic players will be there between all the teams.
Still same as usual. Can still hope England get pumped and get put out in the group stage. That'd be great to see and all.
Did you swear there, England? There's only we support Scotland. And the other team is whoever plays England. That's all we support in the World Cup. Now, let's get on to the new manager, Brother Wilfred. So, what's your thoughts on him, Ryan? I've already been on a couple of times and I've not had the best sort of a report so far in regards to him coming to Celtic. I know it's only one game and maybe I'm being a bit over the top, but after that first game and the way he spoke, what are your thoughts on the new manager?
Too early to tell because I don't think we know enough. Really, I mean, you can only judge him on what he's done the first game, and that's no that great as you say. There's things I like about him. The main thing I like is he's lifted a trophy. I think that's what Rangers have done poorly over the last, fucking 10 appointments or something.
Yeah, they've been through them, haven't they? Yeah.
But what Celtic have done there is they've got a manager who knows how to lift a trophy, and there's only really two bits of criteria, I think, in a Celtic or a Rangers manager. And that's to handle the pressure of the job and to lift a trophy. And if you can't do any of them, or you've not done any of them before, you're going to have a tough time. Don't know how he'll do with the handling the pressure, because I don't think he's been anywhere near that level before. In terms of football pressure or supporter pressure or media pressure. So we see how he handles that. But he has lifted a trophy, that's what I like. The bit that I don't like is he's not coming in off a form. Like the team, that Columbus Crew, they didn't finish well in the league last year, or the season that's just finished in the MLS. So I think they did a really good time the 2 and 3 seasons before in his last few seasons, but he's not coming in off a form. So I think that's the bit that worries me a wee bit. They've not found a manager out there that has a big name and who's in form. So obviously that's what we'd want. Someone who's a big name in form, someone who's no a big name and no in form, and that's where I get the bit of doubt. In my mind, you went from Rodgers to O'Neill, 2 established managers who know how to lift a trophy, to someone no established and no in format. That's the wee bit there that I'm like, I don't know. But time will tell. I think you just got to put support behind them and see how things go. Yeah,
I agree 100%. And I know I've had a dig at him, but I'd love him to do well, and I'd love to come on and apologise and go, how wrong did I get it? Because Ange's never had a good start when he started with Celtic, and look how good he went on. But I just worried the other night, Ryan, when he played a 3-4-3, and the players looked like they were all out of place, mate. And I don't know how he's going to go into the next game. Do you see him going with the same kind of formation, or do you see him changing it, mate, and going, right, okay, I've not got the players, because you get 3 left-footed players. He can't. Until Alistair Johnson comes back, he's not really got MD on that right flank that can. That's my opinion. So, what do you think of the formation?
I mean, it's like a twist now, isn't it? Like, he's come in and he's changed things already, because it wasn't the same kind of setup as O'Neill had. So I think you come in as a new manager and you've got to say, well, what do I do? Do I keep things going the way they are and play the same way, and then change it once I've had the time to look, or do I go in for day one and try and cement my philosophy or way of playing or formation? And he's done the latter. So I think if he changes it, he looks shifty. because he's come in and he's changed it once and he's changed it twice. That means the players have played 3 games with 3 different setups and systems. So I think that the fact that he did change it for Hearts, but geez, it's a baptism of fire. He's just finished the season, so he's not had a break. And he's come right in to playing 3 of the toughest games that we'll have this year, maybe. So it's difficult.
I agree there. I agree with everything you've said there. I just wonder, like, do you think if he would have played that formation and beat Hearts, that we would have been having these conversations?
No, come on, they'd be getting the plaudits for having won. But it's a home game and he lost, so I mean he's got to take that and all. So he's gonna get a real. I mean, the upside, he's getting a real introduction to what it's like to manage at a top club with that expectations. So they're not going to give him any time to kind of settle in. He's going to get that straight away, and you know that'll either be a stroke of genius in the long term from the board, whoever brought him in, or it'll be add further pressure onto the board if it doesn't go well. That's my opinion anyway. It's like, geez, you're going to give him these 3 games, or are you going to wait till after those 3 games?
I said before the 3 games that these 3 games will either break or make them, because it's 3 of the biggest games, but it's 3 games that if you win, you become a hero straight away. You get a cup final, you probably get us into Europe if we beat Roma. And then obviously, but with the first hurdle, we failed. But in saying that, we could have won that game against Hearts the other night because we had enough chances to win it. But again, we just looked slow at the back as well. They had another couple of chances. So just when you mentioned the board there, Ryan, what's your sort of thoughts in bringing this new manager in? Like, if the board brought him in, is it because there was 3 other guys before that didn't want the job, because they've maybe interviewed them? These managers have said, this is how we want to run the club, and the board have said, no, we'll be running the club. So they've went, right, okay, 1's away, 2's away, and we've ended up with Brother Wilfred. Or do you see it another way, mate? Who do you think's employed Brother Wilfred?
It's hard to tell, and I think the consistency in the Celtic board over as far back as I can remember was just a lack of transparency. You're left guessing because you don't get enough information. You're left guessing about how decisions get made. I mean, there was a recent AGM, you can go on talking about that, about how there was no information shared because it was a shambles. So you're kind of left guessing, and I don't know. I mean, you'd imagine, having seen how much media coverage there was on the Rangers appointment and how many times they were knocked back, that Celtic have done their business real hush-hush behind closed doors, as probably it should be when appointing a manager. So you don't know if anybody's been offered it and knocked it back, like we did with Rangers with Gerrard and Muscat and whoever else. So thing is that the good side is they've probably taken their time because they've got Neil in there doing a good job. He afforded them as much time as they wanted, really, to make that appointment. So I'm hoping that that's a sign that they took their time and they got the right man. But I don't know. I don't think he'd be on anyone's radar, really. You know, if you asked any Celtic fan to draw up a list of the 5 names they'd want for the job, I'd be surprised if he appeared there.
I agree with that.
But I mean, the model, and this is maybe like what the board need to explain what Celtic's model actually is financially. They've done really well. You know, they've brought these players in for pennies and sold them for 10 times the profit. They've done that many seasons over. That model works.
Of course it does.
But I don't think there's enough transparency there or honesty about what they're doing manager wise. So I don't know, left guessing.
I know that, and that's the big thing. We're kind of going, well, is he the right man? Time will tell, I suppose. But I think if he doesn't do well against Roma, and to say he loses cup final by some manner of means, he's going to be struggling to get on the good side to the Celtic fans that were already questioning his appointment. So let's hope that the board's got it right if it was then, because it's shambolic just now with the board, the fans and everything. There's protests every single week. They've got to get the Green Brigade back in. It creates an atmosphere. We can't have them sitting outside when there's a whole empty space there. That's helping the opposition. Roma will come there, and nobody likes going and facing all the other teams' ultras, and yet ours aren't there. And I just don't get it. I think the board need to go get the Green Brigade back in. if anything happens again, they need to deal with it different ways. We need them behind the team, don't you think?
Definitely. I think they need to be there. It looks kind of like childish stuff at the moment between board and the supporters. It's kind of like schoolyard. They said, he said.
Okay.
You know, stuff. I think they need to get past that. Hopefully, a new manager and a reset and some form can help that.
Yeah.
But I think a few things probably need to change here. Honesty being one of them.
Definitely. Well, look, let's get into the Roma game. So, I don't know what he's going to do with the formation. If it was me, I would be playing 4 at the back, because we've no got the players that can play that 3 at the back at this moment in time. I don't know whether he'll try and persevere with it. If he does and he gets beat, I think he's in big trouble. So I really don't know what you think. You've done a wee bit of, about Roma, Mel and Adi, Ryan. You've done a wee bit of studying. Ryan plays fives with a few boys that support Roma and all that. So he's probably got a wee bit more information. So how do you think Roma's going to cope in Glasgow, Ryan? And how do you think we'll approach that game as well, mate?
So I've asked a few of my Italian mates who follow the Serie A pretty closely, and asked what are Roma like, and they said Roma shite. Roma only great this season, but they're way better than Celtic. That was their synopsis.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I look at the table. Roma have done pretty good this season. They're sitting about 4th or 5th. So no where they want to be, but better than the last few seasons.
Yeah.
Who's ahead of them is Napoli, AC Milan, and Inter Milan.
Yeah.
That's better competition than Hearts, so I can say,
Dundee.
Better competition. Hearts, who are ahead of Celtic in the league. So
tougher league.
I don't know. They're off the back of 2 losses, so there is a chance. They get beat by Napoli a couple of weeks ago, and they get beat by Cagliari on Monday.
And that's 1-0, was it?
So they're not in form. I think that's good. If they're off the back of 2 losses.
Yeah.
On the other side, they did beat Rangers a few weeks ago, in Ibrox.
That's right, they did, mate.
So they could be the first.
Now, we don't call them Rangers, we call them Rankers, mate, on
Rankers,
this programme.
Right, the other side. The Huns. They did beat a Huns a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
If they beat Celtic at Celtic Park, they'll be the first team to beat the Old Firm in Glasgow since Inverness Cali Thistle did a number of years ago.
Christ. I was at that game, Inverness Cali game.
So there's a record broken, so hopefully we can stop that. The way I see it, I think it'll be a draw. I've actually put some money on it. On it being a draw.
Yeah.
I think I like about Wilfred, if it was his choice joining now, is the thing you want to see in a Celtic manager. If they get the options, and I don't know if this is how it did happen, but they said, look, 3 huge games here, mate. Do you want to come in now, or do you want to leave them 3 to a nil?
Yeah.
I would want to hear from a Celtic manager as they say, no, give me them games. I want the high pressure. I want the chance to win. And if that is the case, then maybe we'll see something a bit different once he's had the chance to work with the players for a few extra days and get them revved up for this, and maybe they'll feed off his energy. But I think there's an opportunity there, but they're a decent side.
Do you think he'll go with the 3-4-3, Ryan, or do you think he'll stick to that?
I think so.
You think he will?
I think he will.
So, and you reckon it'll be the same 3? I think it'll be Tierney, Trusty, and Big Scalesy. You think
it will be? Aye.
Look, see if he does that and they play well and they win the game, I'll be like, aye, okay, well done. But it's a big if. I know I've said for a few weeks that Europe's a bonus for us at the moment because we're not playing well. I'm just glad we never get into the Champions League when you look at it, because that Kairat have been pumped left, right and centre, and we couldn't beat them, and they've only got 1 point. They drew with somebody, but they're getting pumped, and that's what would have happened to us just on the way that we're playing at this moment in time. So even in the Europa League's an absolute bonus for us. If we don't get to the next stage, I won't be really disappointed. I'd like to get there, but I won't be disappointed. I'd rather win the cup final, and I said this, I'd rather beat Hearts, which we haven't. I'd rather beat Hearts, lose to Roma and win the cup final. That would have been my choice, but that choice is gone now. So you reckon he'll stick to his 3-4-3, mate?
I think he will, aye. I think just because he done it in the first game, I don't think he wants to look like he's coming in, changing things initially and then changing them again.
He's bowed to the crowd,
gets his chest pulled out again and starts making more changes.
Oh, Jesus.
I think that's what he's got to do since he's come in and started it. And
I wonder, Ryan, do you think, with all the criticism, do you think he'll have that board on his knee, or do you think he'll just fling it to the side?
Yeah,
You know?
I think he's got to stick to it again.
Oh,
I
God.
think he has once he started on it. I think it must be it. He's got to get used to it.
Oh, God. Well, so, I mean, if he plays that, so we know who the back three will be, Ryan. Who do you think will be your four midfielders, mate?
I don't know. I think he'd probably stick to the same
So
side
yeah,
again.
so you have
I think he
Callum
will.
McGregor, you'll have Engels. I don't know, he'll have Hatate, and does he bring in Luke McCown there, or does he bring in Nygren? You know, because Nygren didn't have the best of games, but I think a lot of the players are playing out of position. So if he's going to play that, and then that sort of leaves you three up front with you, and again, you're going to have to go with Maeda unless Kelechi's he's fit. But Ryan, the other night he brought on Johnny Kenny and Kelechi was on the bench. So I don't know, why would they have done that? Do you think he would have played Kelechi if he was fit rather than Johnny Kenny? I'm struggling to find where the rhythm is here. Do you know what I mean?
It's too tough to tell. I think you get 3 games in a short space of time. Some players have to get rested if you want them fit for the weekend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, but then you don't want to lose your more experienced players on a European night. So I think that cements McGregor in there as the only the only certainty. Other than that, it would be
Because Hatate didn't play well, did he? The other night either.
No, he didn't.
He did a bit of a shocker.
But he's got good legs for a European night.
He has.
As well.
He has, mate.
They're Roma. They've got a decent few strikers to choose from.
Okay.
I think they get that Dybala, and they've also got
That was a big guy used to play with
Ferguson.
Juventus, was it? Dybala. Yeah.
So he's dangerous, and they get a lot of running in them as well. I think they've actually got a similar kind of formation they've played with.
Okay.
This season.
Right.
They get El Shaarawy as well, who's pretty dangerous. So I think it's maybe setting up a few of the midfielders to stop them playing a wee bit, because they're a pretty fast, creative team.
Right. Okay.
Structured and all. So I really don't know. Depends again what you say, how he's thinking about the game on Sunday too.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's right. You got to try. We want to win the first cup of the season. Like I always say, I always game a team. So I'm going to go with a back, and you can just jump in at the end when you think if something's going to change. But I would be going with the three. If he's going to go 3 at the back, it's got to be Scales, Trusty, and Kieran Tierney. We've no doubt. So Yang was pretty poor in one wing, and Tenecti was poor in the other wing. But I don't see who he's going to bring in. So I think he's going to have to go with Callum McGregor, Rio Hatate. I think he'll go with Engels again, because I think he'll want to be, and I think he'll go with Nygren. I think that could be the 4 in the midfield.
Yeah.
And then up front, I think he'll go with. I think he might go with Dyson out in the right wing, Yang out in the left, or vice versa. I don't know if he's going to start with Tenecti, even though I would. I don't think he will. And I think he could start with Kelechi through in the middle, and then he's got that choice to move Dyson out. So it's a bit here. I'm not 100% sure, but I always have a stab at the team. So I'm thinking that could be the team. Any changes that you would make, Ryan, on that 3-4-3 that I've mentioned, or would you bring anybody else in?
No, it's been a mix this season about who's been in and out of form. This is the 3rd manager now. I like Nygren. I think I'd like to see him play.
Yeah, I like him.
I'd agree with that. I think Maeda on the left, probably, just because of the damage he's done previously in Europe. That'd be aye.
Well, that's see, we're kind of in the same lines as him, but that depends. He could change it to 4 at the back, because of the sort of a balance with the 3 left-footed players. He might have gone, you know what, that didn't work, and because Alistair Johnson's no fit, he might change it to 4. So who knows? But it's going to be very, very interesting to see what team he comes out with and how we play, and it's probably going to be another wet, miserable Glasgow night. So give us a score prediction, Ryan. I always get the old score prediction, mate.
1-1.
1-1.
I'd say.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2-1 Celtic. And who's going to score the first goal? Will we go ahead, Ryan, or will they go ahead? Who's the first scorer?
I reckon they'll score, and then we will.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if Kelechi plays, I think he'll score the first goal. If he doesn't, I think it will be Nygren that will score the first goal. So I'm 2-1, Ryan's 1 each. We'll take any of the results actually, because as long as we don't lose the game, we can then move on to the next. I think, and we'll get into the next stage if we get a decent result on this game, you know. But anyway, I'd just like to say thanks to Ryan for coming on. That's my first ever guest on my podcast, so thank you, Ryan.
Probably last one after this.
After this shit, well, the ratings will go right, didn't they? I was going to tell Ryan, see, years ago, before we knew it, Ryan, him and Ryan's old man Jim and me used to play against each other. And when we were younger, and one time we were drinking at a pub, years later, and I've seen his old man Jim, and I went, Jim, how you going? He goes, he's looking, he's going, who is it? Not that. He couldn't remember it. So I says, give a minute, mate. So I turned round and I just ran for 5 yards in front of him. And then he looked and he went, oh, I know you knew, Johnny, because that's all I ever seen was the back of your head getting away from me, mate, you know? He'll love that one. But anyway, it's been good, mate. Thanks for coming on, and we'll catch up with you after the Roma game. And Ryan will come on and give his new business a plug once he's got it off and running. I'll get him on and we'll tell you all about it. It might be interesting for everybody. It's to do with football and that, so it'll be really good. So anyway, have a great couple of days, and hail, hail.